Hi, I'm Wendy Gardner and I'm going to show you the new Milward snap fasteners and pliers kit. So it comes with sets of the different types of fasteners and snaps as well as the 5-in-1 pliers. Everything you need to attach these snaps or fasteners is inside this really cute little carrying case. It has lock handle so everything will stay in place. And then when you lift off the lid, you will find underneath the package the instructions, and these are so handy and so useful. Not only does it tell you what size hole you need for the different coloured snaps, and these are colour coded to work together, but also it tells you exactly which of the tools you need for which of the snaps and what pieces are needed. So very simple. And then they're all neatly cased in different compartments. Now these lovely snaps are incredible. This is the new pliers, the 5-in-1 pliers. Very, very handy. It's got that little hook that holds them shut. And you've also got this little tool which stays there handily when in storage, but you use it to poke out the tools that you use for the different pieces. Nice and easy to use, nice firm grip, and that's how you attach all of the different snaps or fasteners. So let's start with our first set of snaps. The first set I'm going to use are the fashion snaps. So looking at my leaflet here, these are the fashion snaps, and as you can see when you look at this, you've got 2 tools to attach these snaps, and there are actually 4 pieces to the snaps. So you just look at what you need and then get it out of the pack that's already there. So what we have is we have 4 parts to the snap. We have the top, which has a solid front to it, and then that goes into one of the sockets. Now the socket, you can see on one side of the socket you can see sort of like a little flowery outline, and on the other side it's a deeper tunnel, and it's a deeper tunnel that the prongs on there are going to go into. And then you have the back of the snap, which has got the socket and the prongs that hold it together. You don't need to make holes with these. So I've got my 2 pieces ready. Let me just take them off to show you them. So these came out of my box here. So we have one. Now this is the prong holder. And then we have this one, and this is the socket holder. So they go into the pliers, and it doesn't matter which one goes into which section, it's both the same. You can use them right or left-handed. And then let's start with the top. So this has got to go from the right side to the wrong side, and you just poke those prongs through the fabric. Now I've got sort of 3 layers of fabric here, as if I was doing a cuff or a placket or something. And I'm just going to use that little tool that you get the tools out of the tool, all these words. You get the tools out of the pliers with. I'm just doing that to help bring the sprox or prongs through to the side. Then I'm going to get the other piece ready. And this will go into one of the socket here. And then this bit goes into the bowl. So I'll pop that in there. The socket's in place. Crimp it together and nice and tightly put that together. And then when that's done, there it is, ready for the other half to be attached. So I need a prong, and I need the popper. So again, I'm going to push the prongs through from the right side of the fabric to the wrong side. Make sure those prongs come through. And then with the tool, I'm going to pop the popper into the prong holder. And then I put the base, which has actually got the prongs on it, but the prongs are going to come up now to the top. Put that in to the basin, really tight squeeze, and then it'll be ready to pop her up. So there it is, all ready to pop her up. Now let's add some eyelets. These are fantastic because you can add them as a decorative feature, or you could use them to lace up things if you wanted to add that as a lacing for something. So again, for the eyelets, we can look on the leaflet here, and it will tell us which ones to use to attach the eyelets. So it really is lovely and simple. You can always just sort of follow this thing through. So what I need this time is I need my 2 tools and 1 eyelet. You only need the 1 piece for this. You don't need 2 different pieces. So the tools I need are here. But the first thing I need to do is make a hole in the fabric so that the eyelet, which is literally a 1 piece, will go through. I mentioned if you saw the other little video I've done, the hole maker does get little fabric holes or little filled fabric pieces in it. So every now and then you just need to clean that out so that it's ready for more. It's like creating little confetti. And then you can use this hole. Now for the eyelets, I need to make a hole which is 4 millimeters according to the instructions. So one side of this is the only part of these tools that can go in up either side. One has got a smaller hole and the other has a bigger. The bigger is the 4 millimeter one. Put that in place and then put the little punch bit in, and then I can create some holes. So I've got 2 layers of fabric here. Let's just do a couple of them ready. So they're ready now. Just pop those tools out, we don't need those now, and replace them with the tools for the eyelets. So I have one which is going to punch the hole, and I have the other one to fit it into. So the first thing is, from the right side, put your eyelet through the hole, and then we fit that onto the ring. Let's get that fabric out of the way, and then just crush it down. And that's your eyelet done. So very quick and simple. So if you wanted to add lacing to something, now in the pack you actually have 25 of each colour. So let's just use the silver. So I've got silver and gold in the pack. But again, you can buy these in little packs. And if you buy it in this little pack, it also comes with a tool that fits it together. You use that tool with a hammer. I'll show you in just a minute. But if you've got these, of course, you don't need to use a hammer. Putting it in place and then crunch together. And that's your second eyelet. So that's how quick and simple it is to do them with this handy 5-in-1 plier. My next snap here is the heavy duty snaps. Now this is a refill pack, so you can put these into your kit once you've completed all the kit pieces. But these ones are really quite nice in that they are brassy coloured, whereas the ones you get in the kit to start with are silver. So step 1, you've got firstly you've got 4 pieces to put together, and if you look at your instructions again, you'll see when you look at the heavy duty snaps what pieces of tools you're going to need, and then how to put them together. You've got cap and socket A and B, and then you've got the stud and post C and D. Nice and simple, it tells you exactly what to do. So step 1 is to make a hole. So I've made one hole, but I'm just using the hole piercing set, and 1/2 of this post has got a wider hole, that's 4 millimeter, and the other side is 3 millimeter. We need 4 millimeter for this. It says so in the instructions. So let's just put that down there. Make a hole, so that's ready now for both sides of this. So let's just take that out ready to put the tools that we need in. And the tools we need this time for the heavy duty snaps are a metal punch and the bowl, metal holder. So these are the two tools, and I know that because the instructions tell me so. So I put one into one side and the other into the other side. And then the four pieces you need. So for the top, the cap and the socket, we need a cap and a socket. So I'm going to put, from the right side, I'm going to put the cap through. So that's from the right side to the wrong side. And then the socket will go into this section here. So firstly, put that in place, stick it in the bowl there, and pop that on top so that you can see the bowl is uppermost, and then clamp it together. Nice and tight. And that's your first bit done. It's that simple. So for the next bit again, from the right side, I'm going to put the pole, and that will sit in the basin. And then this section, which is the socket bit, goes on the top. And again, I just clamp them together. And it really is that easy. Obviously, if you're doing this on a garment or something, you'll mark the position to make sure you're getting them in a nice line. But they're lovely, and they can go on all sorts of things, from garments to camping equipment to bags. Nice and easy to attach. And as I say, the refill packets are available in different colours, and you can pop them into your kit. The last set of snaps that are in this kit are the anorak jacket snaps. Again, you can get refill packets once you've used everything that's in there. But let's start with what we have. So with these, I'm going to look at the instructions again, and you will see we need 4 tools. We need a metal punch and a metal holder, as well as a socket and a plastic holder. So I've got all 4 of my tools out that were nicely in line with the pieces I need. And there are also 4 parts to the snap. So you have the outside front, which is the cap, and that goes with a socket on the other side of the fabric. And then you have the stem and the popper to go into. First things first, let's make holes in the fabric. Now, although these are quite big snaps, and therefore you'd think they'd need a big hole, they actually only need the small hole. So I only need the smaller hole of the 2 holes. This is the only tool that can go up either way. So pop that in place, ready to make the holes. So this is denim, and I'm just going to go through making 2 holes there ready. Nice and easy to make the holes with the tool. Pop out the hole making pieces. And I'm now ready to add the pieces I need to put the cap on. So the first 2 pieces are the bowl, and then you have the punch part. So from the right side of the fabric, I'm going to put the front of the popper through the hole and then just position it in that basin. And then I'm going to pop the underside of it on top of the hole, hold it in place and squeeze to put those 2 pieces together. So that's the first half of your popper. Now I'm ready to do the second half. So this is the post that comes from the right side through the hole, and then this is the popper section which will go on top. But firstly, let me change my tools over. So take those ones out and pop these ones in. So you can see this one has a hole, so that's where the socket goes, or the popper goes. but it won't necessarily stay in there on its own if I turn it upside down. Let's see if I do it the other way round. So if I firstly put the popper into the bottom section, then put the popper bits into the top. It is hard to do when showing to camera. Put that in the top, squeeze it together, and a really firm squeeze. Let's take the tool away from it, it's got itself attached, and there you have the other half of your popper. So that is the Milward starter kit for poppers and snaps, including those magical 5-in-1 pliers that make it all so easy. Enjoy.